India Roundup. I'm Chandni Krishnan here with the national news making headlines this week. India reiterates civilizational ties with Nepal. India reiterated on Thursday that it values its civilizational ties with Nepal and continues to have deep cultural and friendly relations with the country. This stance came while Nepal prepared to vote for a new map without waiting for a resolution to the ongoing Kalapani Territorial Dispute with India. The Nepali Parliament has been discussing a second constitutional amendment which will give legislative support to the new map. However, India chose a conciliatory response and focused instead on the partnership between the two nations, laying emphasis on the government of India's humanitarian assistance to Nepal. Trade associations announced boycott of 3,000 Chinese products. The Confederation of All India Traders kicked off a campaign to boycott Chinese goods in India beginning June 10th. The campaign, which is called Indian Goods, Our Pride, lists 3,000 products including fast-moving and other consumer goods, toys, textiles, stationery, food items, electronics and builder hardware. The campaign urges Indian consumers to buy indigenous products instead of Chinese goods and motivates traders to avoid selling Chinese goods. This also supports Prime Minister Narendra Modi's call, vocal for local.
The most fascinating water world on earth, the Great Backwaters, Kerala.
Delhi and Maharashtra among 5 states that may face shortfall in critical COVID care, says Centre. Based on current trends, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Delhi, Gujarat and Uttar Pradesh are projected to fall short of ICU beds and ventilators between June and August. In a video conference he organized, Cabinet Secretary Rajiv Gauba told state chief secretaries and health secretaries to plan for sufficient hospital capacity in advance for the next 2 months. The urgent need for fatality mitigation was highlighted through measures like preferred hospitalization for comorbid elderly patients, timely referrals on escalation of symptoms, improving clinical practice, and providing on-call care. The recommended action plan covers containment, testing, tracing, and health system upgradation. Study warns of an impending surge in poverty levels to over 1 billion due to virus. Research by King's College London and the Australian National University points to a dramatic increase in poverty levels, particularly in middle-income developing countries where millions live just above the poverty line. This includes Asian countries like Bangladesh, India, Indonesia, Pakistan and the Philippines, where lockdowns have severely curtailed economic activity. The research calls for urgent global action to address the impending crisis, without which progress on reducing global poverty could be set back by 20 to 30 years. The study highlighted steps like identifying the level of financing required by countries and how rich countries can help, expanding the current debt moratorium, funds to be released quickly, and finally, debt restructuring or outright cancellation of debt for some developing countries if needed.
To celebrate life, come to Gujarat.
India is definitely not in community transmission phase in COVID-19, asserts the government. The Indian Council of Medical Research Director General Balram Bhargava said at a media briefing that lockdown and containment measures were successful in preventing a rapid rise in infections, but a large proportion of the population remains susceptible. This is based on available data from an ongoing sero survey, which tests for the presence of virus-fighting antibodies that the immune system produces to fight off an infection. The serological survey aims to estimate 1. The fraction of the general population that has been infected with the virus that causes COVID-19, and 2. The fraction of the population that has been infected with the coronavirus in containment zones of hotspot cities. So far, the survey broadly indicates that the spread is much higher in urban clusters. Risk factors are higher in urban and urban slum areas. Infection in containment zones is high but variable. Infection fatality rate is very low, and that in rural areas the spread is lower in comparison to urban areas. PM Modi to India Incorporated. India will return to growth and will not depend on other countries. Speaking at the 125th Annual General Meeting of the Confederation of Indian Industry, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said, India is ready to leapfrog for high future growth. He mentioned that the pandemic might have slowed economic growth, but the country had already entered the first phase of unlocking. In contrast, Various analysts have predicted a contraction of up to 7% in GDP in the current fiscal year. Prime Minister Modi countered these concerns by reiterating his confidence in Indian farmers, businesses, entrepreneurs, and industry leaders. He promised that his government would support industry by undertaking further reforms based on inputs provided by the industry. And that is all from me for this week. Please feel free to comment below and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you next week with more stories. Till then, stay well and stay safe.